Welcome to another glorious sunny day in Dubai. It's red hot as usual and getting hotter. In this video I want to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because Bitcoin has just smashed through its all-time high, and there's a lot of crypto nerds, crypto gurus, crypto whatevers here in Dubai. You see them driving around in the Lamborghini Uruses and the Ferraris and whatever with like weird little Bitcoin logos dotted about and stuff, so you know that they're crypto bros or whatever you want to call them. I'm invested in crypto a little bit. In fact, my crypto wallets are stored in a vault just over there somewhere. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but honestly, if you're going to come to Dubai and break into that vault or whatever, good luck to you. You're going to prison forever, bro. So I think I can admit that stuff now. I feel a lot safer talking about this stuff in the UAE than I did in the UK, but I've got about 600 grand's worth of cryptocurrency, mostly in Bitcoin. I'm not a big crypto guy. I'm a late adopter, if you like. I was dollar cost averaging in at about $2 a week for a good period of time a few years ago. So my average cost per Bitcoin is, I think, about 35 grand a coin, and it's just broke through its all-time high of $111,000 per Bitcoin. So I'm quite a bit up on my money. I've also got a bunch of money in some different cryptocurrencies, like I've got some Ethereum, I've got a little bit of Solana, I've got some Bitcoin Cash, which is different to Bitcoin. I've got a bunch of AI coins from absolute pump and dump garbage that the crypto influencers were pumping 12 months ago or whatever, to some ones that show some promise. And as we enter what's called alt season, I expect a bunch of them will come back and probably make me a bunch of money, and a bunch of them are probably not going to do much because they were a joke at the time. I knew it, but I thought, you know what, these big names, I won't mention no names, but some big names, I wouldn't say I trust these people, but they're definitely good business influencers, online business entrepreneurs. They were pumping, they were kind of getting behind them, so I thought I'd ride the wave. The wave never came on the AI stuff, and the alt season didn't happen in the time frame that people were kind of thinking it would, but I'm still holding out hope that it will. So I'm good chunk of money up on my Bitcoin anyway, and on my cryptocurrency in general, but mostly Bitcoin, because I was dollar cost averaging in, which is just buying X amount every week or every month, whatever you want to do, when nobody gave a poop about it. So when everybody was not talking about it, nobody was talking about it, I was dollar cost averaging in. See, I've always been against crypto because I thought, not recent years, but like before that, I was against crypto when I could have bought it at like nothing almost. Not super ages ago, but like 2017 I was hearing about crypto, and I was thinking like all governments have got to do is say they're banned or whatever, and it's like you can't do this or you can't do that, or make super hostile moves against crypto, and it's over. And one thing after another has fallen in place in crypto's favor, and basically meant that actually we've got to a place whereby the likes of BlackRock, the biggest fund manager in the world with the most assets under management of anyone anywhere, has got a Bitcoin ETF, so an exchange traded fund. So you can literally buy Bitcoin in the stock market through funds and stuff. So it's just become legitimized somewhat, and a lot of tax authorities are recognizing it as an actual asset. And the reality is, it's probably just going one way over the long term until some craziness comes along and changes that. But can I see $1 million Bitcoin one day? Absolutely. Will that be anytime soon? I don't think so. But honestly, I don't really know. Am I going to keep all of my Bitcoin for the long term? No, the answer is I'm not. I'm going to ride the wave this year. As we go into all-time highs, what will happen is retail will come in and become exit liquidity for the big boys. And as those people exit, I'm not going to try and time the market, but I'm hoping to start exiting at some point, probably later this year, and start selling up. Now, what I will probably do is just keep one Bitcoin. I might keep two, but I think I'll just keep one Bitcoin just for the long term, just in case. But what will likely happen is markets don't just go one way. No market just goes one way. It doesn't work like that. Look at any chart of any company, any stock index, anything, gold, just any investment ever, even real estate. It doesn't just do this, right? But the problem is retail, the people that aren't really proper investors or don't really understand the markets or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm a proper investor, I'm very casual, so don't get all like nerdy on me. I'm just saying, like the pure retail, you're talking like taxi drivers, you're talking like the lady that knows somebody at the salon, you're talking about everybody's talking about it to each other, and then they start buying it. Like just random civilians, people with no businesses, no investments, they're just like, oh, you heard about this Bitcoin? And it usually starts happening after all-time highs, which we've just hit. But that has the effect that everybody's talking about it. Anybody that's got a few hundred quid, a few thousand quid, or dollars, whatever, around the world starts piling into these things that they're seeing just go up and up and up and up. And people like me that were positioned years ago and positioned quite early and got in at an okay price, obviously some people were positioned over 10 years ago and they're just probably billionaires if they're positioned well. But what will happen is people like me will start seeing that retail come in, and it should really give it a pump. But the whole landscape's changed. It's always changing. I'm not saying I'm some kind of crypto expert. I'm definitely not. All I know is that from as far as investments go, from a percentage returns point of view, last couple of years, nothing beats crypto. For me, I've smashed it with my crypto in a percentage point of view compared to anything else. So you can leave your cash in the bank and earn a few percent, and then inflation destroys it because the cost of living has been outpacing interest, even though interest rates have risen. Even if you can get 4.5% interest, say, well, if inflation's 8%, it's like you're losing money in real terms. And I don't want to get this too geeky and investy, but essentially, crypto's outpaced everything for me. Outpaced real estate, it's outpaced gold and silver, it's outpaced everything, stocks and shares. And I'm invested in all of those things and a bunch of other things, and it's outpaced everything for me. So I'm a fan. I've even bought some of that MicroStrategy, which is this guy called Michael Saylor. Again, you crypto nerds will be like, Matt, you like elementary school video this? Yeah, it's not for you. This is like for randoms that don't know anything about crypto. But that guy essentially has got like a fund type thing whereby it's kind of leveraged. So as you put money in and Bitcoin goes up, it goes up even more. And if you put money in and Bitcoin goes down, it goes down even more. Just the way he set it up, it's kind of leveraged. But anyway, so I've got some money in that too, and that's done really well. I've only had it in for, I don't know, not that long, and I'm like 25-30% up on when I bought into that. I didn't put much in, but if we get a significant dip sometime soon, I'm probably going to chuck a load of money into MicroStrategy, just because I'm at the edge of my risk tolerance with regards to self-custody of crypto. So what do I mean by that if it's all jargon? Essentially, you have a hardware wallet and you become the bank, if you like. Your crypto, it's not on your wallet, it's still on the blockchain, but your wallet kind of proves that you own it and it's your keys to access that crypto on the blockchain. Now, as much as I understand the game and I've done a whole bunch of buying and selling, I did a little bit of trading for a while, like I understand it. I'm still, every time I send or receive any crypto, my booty hole starts to flex. It's just a bit, and any crypto guys will probably agree, or maybe you're just like gung-ho, but it starts to get a little bit scary because you're like, oh, I'm going to send 50 grand or 100 grand just in one thing, and it's like, is it going to work? And like, is the wallet addresses right? Am I doing this right? Is it on the right network? Like, you start to get all a little bit anxious doing it. So I'm at the top end of my current risk tolerance with regards to self-custody, but I'm not at the top end of my risk tolerance with regards to crypto. So actually, I will be one of these people that when I want to chuck some more money into crypto, I will probably do it through MicroStrategy or something like that, just from a point of view of, I don't want to have all my money in gold. I've got some gold, and I've not admitted that on this channel before, being in Dubai where I feel like it's safe in a vault over there, but I've got some silver, so I've got precious metals. Have I put all of my wealth, all of my worldly assets into silver just because one day I could see it being $300 an ounce and right now it's closer to $30 an ounce? No, because I don't know. I mean, I saw somebody say that Hadron Collider, I think, you know, like that CERN thing, they've just made it so they can create gold out of thin air, supposedly. So would some future cheaper version of that create downward pressure on gold as it becomes like diamonds? Once upon a time, diamonds were found in nature and there was no other way to get them, and now you can make lab-grown diamonds, and all but the most top experts with machines and knowing, like, lots of knowledge, like, nobody can really tell the lab-grown diamonds from the natural diamonds. And whatever you think, you might go, well, natural diamonds are worth more. Well, look at the downward pressure it's had on price over the years by the fact that there's now lab-grown ones and you can't tell the difference with the naked eye. So it's just had downward pressure on natural diamonds. So you imagine if I chucked all of my money into silver, and then they would create some homemade Hadron Collider that makes silver out of toilet water. Do you know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden silver's not valuable anymore. So you don't do it. You diversify your assets. You build a portfolio. A lot of people get really nerdy about it and start rebalancing it and all that stuff. I'm not that bothered. What I do is I go, right, I'll buy a bunch of gold coins, and at the top end of my risk tolerance, when I'm like, yeah, I don't want to put any more money in gold, I stop buying them. You know, and usually I'll do that over time. It might be a year, 2 years, 3 years, just buy a few here and there. And the same with silver coins or silver bars or whatever. I did a bunch of that. So, and again, I wouldn't admit that outside Dubai, but I don't expect anyone to rob me, which is one of the lovely benefits of living in Dubai, not living in the West, where you bloody literally got to be worried about your crappy iPhone getting stolen off you by some scumbag on an electric bike flying past you as you're walking down the street, or your 10 grand Rolex getting robbed off your wrist at a gun or knife point. Like, it's ridiculous. Here you don't have to worry about any of that, which is the only reason I'm talking about it, because my assets are, other than real estate and businesses, my assets are basically in this country now, on the whole, on the most part, or at least secure against anything in the UK. So I can talk about them more. So anyway, what else do I want to add? Crypto is going to soar. I saw some crypto influencers saying, that's it, the market's done. And I was like, it's not really got started, and that's my genuine belief. But obviously this is not a tax advice or anything like that. If you enter the markets now, know that you are entering at all-time highs, which will probably make you in the category of retail investor. On the most part, that's not to say that Bitcoin can't go from 111,000 to 120,000, 130,000, 150,000, 200,000 plus. And you don't have to buy whole coins, you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. So essentially, you can buy £100 worth if you want to. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin at 111,000 for people that don't really understand. But yeah, so I've just, what I do is I go, right, I've got a whole bunch of real estate now. I don't want any more money in real estate. So I'm like, okay, I'll put a whole bunch of money in gold. Right, I don't want any more money in gold. And I just go to my current wealth risk tolerances. This is not investment advice. I'm not saying this is some amazing strategy. It's just what I do. And essentially, I have a bunch of cash in the bank, not in cash. I have a bunch of the cash in the bank. I have a bunch of crypto. I have a bunch of precious metals. I have a bunch of real estate. I have a bunch of businesses, etc., etc. And that's kind of just how I do it. You mostly want to be invested in assets, even though asset markets around the world feel like they're all in bubbles and feel like the top end and ready to go bang. I don't know the Trump effect. I don't know if Trump's going to actually have a positive effect on the markets in the near term. We'll see. But essentially, what I wanted to talk about is owning crypto in the UAE. I'm going to have to pay tax on those gains back in the UK because the money I bought the crypto with was within limited companies, or a limited company. So the crypto money is in a limited company, so my gains are going to get taxed, which sucks. But if I'd have bought that crypto here, I don't think there's any tax to pay. I've not looked into the crypto tax situation here, but it's my understanding there wouldn't be any tax to pay. I think even if you exit, say, the UK or the West, and you come here before you create a crystallization event, essentially swapping the coins, selling the coins, or anything like that, and you become tax resident here, I believe if it's personally owned crypto, you'll have no tax to pay as well. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'll never give you legal advice or tax advice or immigration advice on this channel. So none of it should be taken as that. It's all just thoughts, experience, sharing my journey, etc., etc., blah blah. There's my disclaimer, so no one can come back and say you told me to buy Bitcoin at 111,000. I didn't. I think you should have bought it before, but I do think it's got further to go, or I'd be selling, and I'm not selling because I think it's got further to go. And I'm even tempted to buy more because I know it's got further to go. Even though no market does this, it is going to do this. But when it does do this, maybe this time I go, all right, timing's good, let's go. See if I could have got some at 78,000-ish, where it just dropped to recently, I'd be sitting on a nice profit now, wouldn't I? So yeah, if you are interested in moving to Dubai, it's a lot more crypto friendly. Again, this is not a deep dive, I'm not a tax expert or anything like that, but it's a lot more crypto friendly than where you come from or where I come from. It's a lot more crypto friendly, it's a lot more tax friendly, it's a lot more friendly in general. There's no politics, even though the weather's boiling right now. It's gloriously sunny every single day. I know it's a bit hazy today. I think the air quality is quite low, but there's no rain to sweep out the pollutants and stuff. So essentially you get hot, sandy, lots of traffic, environment, and one of the only negatives about Dubai, and there isn't that many, genuinely. I know you read online from all these bots and these losers and these lefties and these wannabes that Dubai's evil. Dubai's an amazing place. Highly recommend it. So glad I moved here. And some people were scoffing at me saying, honeymoon period's over. Yeah, but I'm loving it. The honeymoon period started again. I just don't feel like I'm on holiday anymore. I feel like I actually live here. It's a nice feeling. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, one of the only downsides is the air quality on hot days during summer can feel humid, it can feel sticky, the air can feel a little bit thick. I bought another air purifier yesterday because I've got these air purifiers on the app, and they basically watch the air in the apartment, and if the air gets anything other than like perfectly clean, the fan speeds start to ramp up, and as it starts to clear the air, and that's started to happen a bit more over the last few days. So I bought another one for the bedroom. So I got 2 air purifiers running in there. It's like pure air heaven, and like I'm talking like it's toxic waste fumes. You can see there's a little bit of haze in the sky. I don't know if that's sand. I don't know what that is, but like, there's a lot of people still outside. There's a lot of people still enjoying themselves. It's not like I'm like, I went to Chiang Mai during burning season in Thailand, where the farmers, I don't know if it's the Thai farmers or if it's a different country and it blows down, but essentially the farmers that way on, they burn the fields once a year. I don't know if it's to refresh the soil. I'm not sure why they do it, but essentially it becomes like a really smoky and horrible. That was, when I was last there, was kind of stinging my eyes and a little bit like, just made you feel a little bit poorly. We're nowhere near that in Dubai, and actually where I come from is a leafy green UK place, loads of rain, there's a river nearby, like it's gloriously the opposite of this from an air quality point of view, and that's still showing us 56 moderate. So that's showing us moderate today. So like moderate air pollution in like the cleanest, greenest place you'll ever find. So like there's nowhere you can go where you're totally free from it. So anyway, that's one of the minor downsides of Dubai, but it's not a reason to not come unless you have severe allergies. In fact, I'll add this now, even though I'm going to shut up in a minute. No hay fever here. It's red hot. It's essentially summer all year round. I don't get hay fever. In the UK, I get hay fever. So as the temperatures start to look nicer in the UK, I start to splutter and nose and stinging eyes, and it's awful. Here, I can actually enjoy the sun without feeling like I'm in a blooming, like I'm having crazy allergies and stuff. Nothing triggers my allergies here because I've just got hay fever. So there's some thoughts. If you're a crypto bro, then you should probably look into the tax situation in Dubai before you have to crystallize and sell up. If you are not into crypto, well, things are starting to get exciting. So my guess is some random person that you're talking to down the pub will probably say, oh, you looked into this Bitcoin thing then? And when that starts happening, what will happen is the apps that you can buy crypto on, like Coinbase, will start to rise up the app charts. And when Coinbase sits at number one in the app charts for a period of time, I will be selling almost everything, because you, my sir, at that point are my exit liquidity. If you are thinking about moving to Dubai, I'm going to put a free training here or here. The problem with moving to Dubai is it's quite a technical process. Nobody really talks about it, but it's not easy, but then it's not hard either. So the options are, what most people do, because they don't know what they're doing, is they go to an agency to say, essentially set up a company for them and get a visa, get Emirates ID, and jump through all the hoops it takes to come over here. The problem with that is, one, who do you trust? Two, do you really want to get ripped off by some random that's not going to do that much and just middleman the situation? That's not me bashing all agencies. I'm certain there are good agencies out there, but even the good ones, you're probably going to be paying them and tied into a long-term contract whereby they get paid again and again and again and again by you for everything you do going forwards. So if you don't want to do that, but you do want to come to Dubai and you want to do it the DIY Dubai style, like I did, but without the pain associated with that, I'm going to put free training here or here that will help you relocate to Dubai, get your tax situation in order, understand how to exit the UK properly, how to come here properly. It also is going to go into a whole bunch of other stuff, but go click that training wherever it is, and I'll see you next time. I hope your crypto is soaring. And yeah, see you next time.